Okay, so American Honey, which is the new film by Andrea Arnold. He made Red Road, Fish Tank, Wuthering Heights. Stars newcomer Sasha Lane, who was discovered by Andrea Arnold on a beach in Florida. She plays an 18-year-old Texan living this very, very hard-scrabble existence. When we meet her, she's scavenging for food in a dumpster whilst also looking after two young kids. She needs to escape from the groping hands of a man who calls himself Daddy and to find a better life, which seems to be offered when a van pulls up in which is Shia LaBeouf, who is running a group of magazine sellers. He says to them, basically, come with us. You can earn up to £300 a day. What you need is the ability to work hard, the desire to earn money, and also, as she's told by Crystal, who is the crew manager, played by Riley Keough, the tough guy. She said, you need to know that no one's going to miss you. So she decides that she will jump aboard the truck, and she does, and she joins the mag crew, who are this kind of crew of young people going door to door selling magazines. But in order to do that, they are having to basically be duplicitous, to basically kind of become part of a great capitalist lie. She doesn't like it, and Crystal wants to know why.
Start with my legs.
Yep.
So tell me, what was it that you don't agree with that Jake does? The lying? He ain't lying, he's selling. That's his job. I don't get what you want. You want to make money or you don't.
I want to make money.
What?
I want to make money.
She just needs more time. Go with the wild ones, you know?
I'm not a cow.
It costs me when you don't earn. Do you get that? The motel, the gas, everything, that costs me. And I can't run my business like that. So you show me you can do it or I'll leave you on the side of the road. Clear?
Crystal.
Is that a joke?
No.
I thought this was really terrific, and I think it's Andrea Arnold's best work since Red Road. There are a number of reasons. Firstly, she gets astonishingly naturalistic performances from the cast, both from the newcomers, many of whom are absolute first-timers. Sasha Lane is a real discovery, but also from Shia LaBeouf, who gives, I think, the best performance he's given since A Guide to Recognising Your Saints, and comes across completely convincingly. And I didn't see any clash or problem between the sort of the old hand performers and the complete newcomers, which some reviewers have not been crazy about. I thought that worked really well. Secondly, the look of the film is terrific. Shot in the Academy Square, a 4:3 ratio, which is very much Arnold's signature. Beautifully shot by Robbie Ryan. And what he manages to do is to make that frame, rather than making it seem narrower than the widescreen formats that we're used to, he somehow makes it seem taller. There's a film with a lot of sky in it, a film with a lot of headspace, which is actually beautiful, because what the film is doing is talking about, on the one hand, the really, really tough, gritty urban existence, but also it's talking about the dreams and the aspirations and the desires of the people who are on the road involved in this very, very tough life. The use of music, I thought, was terrific. It's the music that they're listening to as they're on the road, as they're going from place to place, and yet it becomes a proper sort of Greek chorus. It involves them sometimes in group singing. There's a sequence which very much, for me, echoed that wonderful Tiny Dancer scene from Cameron Crowe's Almost Famous. There are references to Star Wars and The Wizard of Oz, which are very important, because they remind you that although the film appears to be that kind of verite grit of Ken Loach, it is also a film which is aspiring towards musicals, towards fantasies, towards films about the sort of the existential life as opposed to just the physical life. There is a recurrent motif of insects being saved by Star, the central character, who is a sort of nurturing presence, somehow managing to retain this nurturing presence in this very, very tough, very hostile, very uncomfortable environment. There is also a sense that as she constantly gets herself into these potentially incredibly dangerous situations, that there is something indestructible about her. So whether she's jumping into trucks or jumping into cars with good old boys, you get the sense that somehow she is resilient and has a strength that will see her through these very, very difficult circumstances. It's a film in which I believed absolutely in the characters. I believed absolutely in their circumstances. It was a world that I didn't know anything about. Certainly, I didn't know anything about Mag Cruise at all. Apparently, the inspiration came from a news article that Andrea Arnold had read back in 2007. It's long. It's 165 minutes, and I think that there was a couple of places where it felt like it could have ended before it did. But I was actually surprisingly for me, because I'm so bossy and so fussy about running times, I was actually surprisingly unbothered by the running time. And I think the reason for that was that the world that it was portraying was so passionately felt, so vibrant, and so absolutely tactile and present and tangible that you did genuinely lose track of time. So American Honey, big thumbs up.